I correct and interesting?
The recording's in progress, Frank. Be a goddamn professional and do your job and introduce us and the guest. Frank is back again for a second week in a row. This one's actually going to be out for everyone to see, I think, because the one we did yesterday probably shouldn't go out there to everybody. But whatever. Take it away, Frank.
Thank you, Pat. Welcome to the Pat Oates Show. I'm happy to announce I'm back, and my co-host, or I shouldn't say that, our host and co-host is the unbelievable Pat Oates.
You are back.
Extremely charming Bobby Tamburo. And tonight I'm so excited because I just found out we have a religious scholar in the house. We got Bobby's friend, Mike Sanderson. Welcome, Mike.
Well, that's right. Thank you very much for having me. I really do appreciate this chance to, reach out to the sinners in the world and try and bring them back to the light of yeshiva. So
he's got good lights.
He's got great lights.
Unlike your scary basement there with bad lights, the Lord light it up well.
He's got a few good headlights behind him, but they won't serve him as well as the Lord's.
I'll be honest with you, Mike. If God was looking at us now, he would choose you to strike down with that mask on. I mean, you look devilish in that mask.
He looks healthy.
Well,
he looks like a healthy Asian doctor.
Look, I like I said, I'm a religious scholar. I study all the religions. I like to, I don't like to pick and choose. As a gambler, you can't just go all on red.
Did you say pick and choose or pick and choose?
I like to pick choose, but
they're the chosen ones.
It depends on the context. Now, look,
he did say before the podcast, none of that and nothing further than India. He stops at India. That's when he stops studying religions.
That's a godless land. That's right. Bobby understands. No, but
all right, that's enough. Frank, you got a story for us, buddy?
Yes, I do.
We're going right in, right the heat.
Right,
Frank, go.
I'm coming at it again.
I have banter. I got shit, but I even tried to lead Bobby in saying yesterday's show was no good, but we'll get back into that later. And it wasn't good. I just wanted to tease it saying how good it was driving the Patreon, but we'll do that after. Frank, you're ready. Last week we forgot. Tell your story.
I'm 30 seconds behind already. All right. So I'm telling the first story back. All right. This is a good one. This happened in 2009. 2009. Prepare yourself. I was in Mexico, enjoying the winter, having a good old time, and I was writing a screenplay, which is part of therapy of coming out of encephalitis. So I'm sitting there by the pool, and I'm writing and totally occupied. Then some guy comes over to me, says, "Hey, what are you doing?" So I told him I'm writing a screenplay. He says, "Mind if I sit down?" No, I sat down, and he starts asking me all kinds of questions. He was there for 2 weeks, so I wound up spending 2 weeks with him, dissecting a screenplay, how it's written, what's in it, how you do it, how you do an outline, the whole 9 yards. Nice guy. He worked for CBS. He was a producer on 48 Hours. And so I checked his credits out. He won an Emmy.
The Eddie Murphy movie?
No. What?
48 Hours.
Right. No. The TV show on CBS. It's about, it's like 60 minutes. Okay. It's
48 hours. It's not.
So it's not like 60 minutes at all. 48 hours.
It's longer than 60 minutes.
It's about 2 days. It's not about 1 hour.
Right. It's about 2 days versus 1 day. And so
1 hour.
It's an amount of time.
60 minutes is 1 hour.
Right. Oh, 1 hour. That's right. This is a long show. It's 48 hours. My God.
This story's 48 hours.
Yes, it is. So anyway, I'm having dinner with his mother and his kids, and we had a wonderful time for 2 weeks. So he leaves. I'm still there, and when I go home, nothing's going on. Then about 6 months later, there's this story in the paper about some guy that's blackmailing David Letterman. And I look at the guy's face and I said, "Oh my God, that's the guy I saw by the pool that we talked about the screenplay and everything like that." Then it comes out this guy was blackmailing Letterman because Letterman was sleeping with his girlfriend.
What?
And yeah, 2009. And
Oh, and Letterman was married?
Yes, man, he was
Right.
married.
I was wondering where the blackmail comes from, just fucking someone's girlfriend. But yeah, if you're married, you don't want people to know that.
No. And so he was screwing a girl, somebody from CBS. And this guy was living with her. So he found out about it, flipped out. And what he did, he wrote 3 pages of a screenplay being mentored by me. And so the thing that pissed me off is when they talked about the screenplay, they said it was a piece of shit. 3 pages of shit. And I took umbrage to that because I spent 2 weeks with this guy trying to tell him what to do, how to write this stupid thing. And he didn't listen to me at all. He went for the $2 million. He was blackmailing him for $2 million, or he was going to get this. He was going to sell the screenplay. So
Frank, how much of that $2 million were you promised for the screenplay?
Time out. Before we go any further, Mike, if you're worried about anonymity, just turn off your camera and take the mask off. We can't hear anything you're saying, man.
Well, I'm just trying to be safe. I don't.
No, just on where the camera is. There's a little air. There you go. We can still hear you, right? You there?
You know what you got to understand? I'm in New York City. I got to be very COVID safe. They're very worried.
And I'm just gonna ask that you let Frank finish because Frank takes a long time. Now he probably lost his place. Let Frank finish this part here, and then we will chime in. He'll kick it to you, and then you chime in.
Well, I'm sorry, Frank. Never mind.
No problem. The Lord will forgive you. Frank, go ahead.
Wait a second. Okay.
No, what the fuck? Wait a second. I got questions too because your story's already got loopholes. But go ahead.
Okay. So what happened?
To be honest, I checked out 10 minutes ago.
No, it's a good story, but there's one part that Frank kind of fucked up, I think. But go ahead.
So this guy gets arrested and he goes to jail for 6 months. So I'm upset because the time I spent with him and giving him the technology of what a screenplay is composed of, he totally fucked it up. And now I can't tell anybody about I was involved in this because the screenplay sucked. So who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it me for spending the 2 weeks with him? Is it this guy for trying to blackmail Letterman for $2 million using the basis of what a screenplay is that I instructed him on? Or is it David Letterman for starting this whole mess? Pat?
Want me first? Okay. Yeah. Unless Bobby or Mike have a better take. Do you want guys go first or want me to go first?
Take it away. I think we're all going to see pretty much eye to eye on this one.
Okay. Well, no. First of all, Frank, I have a question. Yes. Maybe I heard it wrong. I know Bobby checked out. I didn't. I was riveted. I was there.
Right.
I was there.
You had said you spent time with who?
The producer from 48 Hours.
And
what?
Who else was it? You said you also had dinner with for 2 weeks.
Right. With the mother and his kids.
The mother. It's not his wife.
Right. No, not
his wife. You spent time with the woman.
He was divorced.
You spent time with the woman that Letterman was fucking?
No, his mother.
That's where your story, Frank. You probably missed about some kind of section where the two people are probably two different people, but in the story they kind of like looped. So I couldn't really tell who was who. So the guy who wrote the thing is not the guy who produced 48 Hours.
Yes, was the guy from 48 Hours, the Emmy-winning producer.
So he's divorced. You spent time with his ex-wife.
Not with his ex-wife. I spent time with him. He's the one that blackmailed Letterman using the premise of a screenplay that he was going to sell.
That's not better.
Give him $2 million.
Okay. All right. That all being said,
right.
The piece of shit is David Letterman. David Letterman could just tell him, listen, I'll give you the money, but to make me partners with the screenplay. I'm sorry I fucked your wife. I will fund your movie. If I do this, you let it go. You get a credit, Frank, and you're a big star. He could have just done that. He fucked his wife. Instead of just calling the police, saying a blackmail. Yeah, it's wrong. I don't think blackmail is the answer. You're not a piece of shit for listening to a guy in Mexico having a good time. The wife, all of them are pieces of shit. It's Letterman for not saying, hey, you know what? Instead of the blackmail money, what about if Worldwide Pants, his company, funds your fucking thing? And that would have been a great thing. And even if it was shit, so what? Letterman's put out a lot of shit. I'm a big fan of the movie Cabin Boy. Letterman was in that. That was a big piece of shit. Yeah. So, and that's the original. POS right there because you said it's a piece of shit. You're now
Right.
a part of a piece of shit, so we did it. But to me, it's Letterman.
Pat, I have to agree with you because, I mean, Letterman, like a little girl, ran to the police with it.
Well, not like a little girl, because a little girl wouldn't fuck his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So, like a little boy with a big cock, like Bobby's dreams from Gattaca. That's what it would be.
I mean, he just ran. He couldn't wait to get to the police and tell them that. I mean, he didn't want anything to do with it. He didn't negotiate. He never contacted the guy. He only contacted the guy.
Yeah, that took no balls at all.
After the police said, set it all up. And that's what happened. The police told him to set it up. He sets up a drop-off point. He goes there, meets Letterman's lawyer, and hands over the screenplay, and he gets a phony check for $2 million. And then the police come right in there.
And I'm gonna let the other two answer in a second, but I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm trying to be a good host of a show. I don't know everyone here. How is this covering anonymity? How is a towel on your head and now we can see your face? What religious thing is this, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry, Pat. Is it Pat?
Yes, it's Pat.
Yeah, hi, Pat. Yeah, it's nice to meet you. We didn't get to talk. I was late.
But yes,
You see, but I'm a religious scholar.
I understand that. But before you had a mask on because we thought you were trying to hide your identity, and now you came back like a woman out of the shower.
You thought I was hiding my identity, Pat?
That's what Bobby said.
I told you I was in New York. You understand how crazy they are here.
Yeah,
I can tell by your headwear how crazy they are there.
I think you're one of them.
No.
Looney
You
Tunes.
misunderstand, Pat.
Because you have a towel on your head, but a collared shirt on.
Look, we're
Hopefully.
sophisticated people. Look, the Muslim religion is beautiful and it's based on peace. First of all,
And you're
Second
dressed
of
like a
all-
Muslim who owns a convenience store right now with a button-down shirt and a towel on his head.
exactly. How else am I going to blend
Perfect.
in?
That's all I wanted to know. I wanted to make sure you knew that your face was out there.
If I'm going to venture out, if I'm going to try to go to my gym without a vaccine passport,
JIM or GYYM?
would I not
Both.
put a towel on my head?
You could.
Both so that I can claim to,
Appropriate a
be by its
culture.
fruit.
Like 5 minutes
And
ago, you weren't
also
part of this
have a
culture.
towel when I go to the gym.
Wait, could I?
Pat, it just makes. I've been here 38 hours and I've already figured this out. Why is this so hard?
Because a minute ago, you had a hat on. You had a regular hat on and a fucking mask. And now you got a towel on your head. It's very hard. You just flip-flopped religions.
That's why I'm a religious scholar. I wanted to look at them all.
All right, Pat.
Which is fine. All I was trying to do as a host, and if I offended you, I'm sorry, was
Yeah,
trying
I will
to
admit,
say,
yeah, I will admit.
sir, like a Muslim. Shh. I was just trying.
If you
I was
piss
just
me off,
trying to
I'm
make
gonna
sure
blow
your
this
face
whole
was out there.
podcast up.
Can I add something, Pat?
Yes,
What I would
Frank,
like to
please
do,
help.
I would like to make two things. I like to make an amendment to the POS story. I only
Already?
said that who the piece of shit was. Was it Letterman? Was it the producer? Or was it me? Now I'm going to throw in a fourth name, Mike.
No, he's a religious scholar.
Well,
I'm a religious
yes,
scholar.
He's not a comedian. He doesn't know. I was trying to help. He's a little wordy, but I was trying to help.
It's Islamophobic.
He
Frank.
understands persecution.
Homophobic?
He understands
Islamophobic.
persecution.
Oh,
He
he
understands
hates llamas?
persecution. He understands it.
Frank,
You know,
you sound
I-
like a man. Frank, you sound like a man who understands persecution yourself. Who persecuted
Yes, I
you?
do.
Well, he was a raging
Yes,
homosexual in the 60s.
Oh,
And then a
Like
raging racist in the 90s. So
Oh.
he just
And
and now
really
he's a raising
both
racist
sides.
gay.
All right, Mike, redeem me. Redeem my soul, Mike.
no.
Put on a third hat.
All right, who's the piece of shit, Mike?
Mike,
Pat,
who's the piece of shit in the story?
I just need to. You just look. Here,
Mike, Mike,
like I
Mike.
said, Frank, I'm a religious scholar.
Mike,
and like
who's the piece of
Like,
shit
who's
in
the piece of
Frank's
shit in the
story?
Mike,
Who's the piece of shit in Frank's story?
oh, who's the piece of shit? Frank, clearly.
Why? Why is he the piece?
Because I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry. What do you want from me? I was changing hats.
You were too busy doing fucking religious wardrobe changes, like it's the
Look.
holy Emmys. Bobby, who's the piece of
I'm a
shit?
religious scholar.
The
What do
piece
you
of
want
shit's
from
the
me?
guy who blackmailed
Bobby told
Letterman.
you what you were getting into when you got from me.
No, he
It's the-
didn't. Last second, he said, "Here comes Mike, my religious buddy." We don't know anything. Mike,
So, here's the deal.
Bobby's the piece of shit for preparing this poorly.
So here's the deal. It's the guy who blackmailed Letterman.
Okay. No. Thank you. No, you're right. Sorry. Hold on.
No, hang on. Let's just
Who's
get through
the piece
this
of
one.
Oh wait, now
I'll
you're
do it.
Kreskin? No, that's not how religion
No.
works. You can't be Kreskin
I'm
now.
Carson. Come on now. I thought you were a comedian.
From the
Who's
70s.
Look, if you don't want to disrespect Allah, he's gonna give it because I'm wearing the towel. He's gonna give it to me. Hold on.
I understand you, Mike. I hear you loud and clear.
Bobby, join
I'm
us.
not doing whatever the fuck is going on with the show.
Letterman,
I'm not
here's the-
offending
all
whatever.
right, hold on. I held the iPhone up to my towel, and that's how Allah communicates these days. Letterman is the
Is
piece
that
of shit.
5 jihad?
Yes, exactly. You've been
Well,
reading.
fuck you. That was good,
Correct.
religious man. Go ahead.
Letterman is the piece of shit, but it's a piece of shit world. So Letterman is like the shit Jesus.
There you go. Shit, Jesus.
That's what Allah told me at least.
A lot
I
of
don't know.
people thought Jesus was black, so that makes sense. Bobby, who's a piece of shit?
Hey, now, whoa.
All right, my turn, Mike. The piece of shit is the guy who blackmailed Letterman. And Frank, you were right. Letterman did do a pussy move of running to the police. However, the person who drew first pussy blood was the guy who blackmailed him, because that's the pussy move. If a guy fucks your wife, you got two options. You either get over it and like bitch about it on a podcast as much as possible, or oh boy, or
What did you
You
bring?
go
What did you
fight
bring
him.
us? What is
you
it?
fist fight him.
What,
Those are the two options.
when is he getting out?
I have no idea.
Don't worry
but
about him. Let's just go with the show.
I think he's out.
I don't
You
think
having
he's
fun,
out.
Frank?
I think we're gonna come back with some other religion.
Dude, I'm worried. But
Well, Bobby, if that's the case, then you have to say that she's the piece of shit because without her, there is no problem. Why are we?
No.
We're all letting her off on this.
no, bitches are gonna be bitches. And the mistake this guy made is you can't make a hoe into a housewife. If Dr. Dre taught us anything, it's you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. And that's what he tried to do. He took a hoe and was like, let's get married. And then she did what hoes do. You can't blame a hoe for being a hoe pad.
They weren't married though. This is his
No,
girlfriend.
they weren't married. No, they were living together.
So
That's the part.
it's-
Remember, Bobby, when I had to clarify because there was an ex-wife, but it was not. That's not who it is.
Oh, okay. That's where I got confused.
That's
Still
where I got
pussy-
confused,
That's
too.
even more of a bitch move then. It's not like you weren't married, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can see her point of view.
I still think it's Letterman because he could have just made it better and saying, I fucked your woman. Here's some money.
Yeah.
But fund the movie. Don't give it to him as a trail thing. Make it so it's a movie and let the guy, I took away your pussy. Here's a dream.
Right.
Now he's back.
Oh, God, this guy.
You're muted though, buddy.
The
gotta
way the
unmute
Lord
yourself.
wanted it. He doesn't even realize he's muted.
Did you mute him?
No, I did not.
No, I muted myself. I like to take a moment of silence before God every now and then just to show that I'm humble.
Oh,
But
okay.
sometimes-
My bad.
I just like to talk so much that I just put myself on mute and then just talk anyway. So I still hear myself, but God doesn't have to.
It's like a verbal flogging. You're taking your own sins away.
Yeah, you remember that albino guy from that movie?
I actually just brought that up to somebody the other day because the Da Vinci Code, they go, did you like it? I go, just the flogging part. And they didn't know what I meant. And you just brought that up. So maybe I am religious. And now my mic just fell because God struck me down. That's fine.
Well,
That
look,
was
whatever
God was like,
brings
you're
you to
being
the
a
Lord, Pat,
little
it's a
blasphemous,
play
Pat.
for you. I suggest
All right.
following all religions. It's much better.
All right. I'm glad you're back, Mike. We're gonna get into the story that we brought you here for. Is that cool with you, Pat, or did you have anything you wanted to do quick?
No, well, you wanted to do Frank's story real quick, and then we did it. So I think that's good. I can do other stuff later.
All right, we'll see what happens. So basically, this is kind of a story. Frank, you kind of inspired how we tell this story. So just enjoy it.
Bobby, before you get into that, Frank,
Yes.
you look like a man in your older years. A homeowner?
Fucked up. Wait, as a religious man, you can't just tell a guy he's old.
Well, what? We all died, Pat.
Mike,
The
how
fate of
old?
man was determined by God years ago. We can't deny our mortality. We should.
He wasn't denying anything. He's just sitting there, and you said you look old.
Well, he looks
I don't mean to interrupt. I don't know.
What I meant to say, Pat, I don't know what I said, but what I meant to say, Frank, is that you look like someone who deserves tantamount respect and admiration. Is that correct?
I would assume that, but not here. No, I leave all respect and all my humbleness on the sidelines when I go on this program.
Are you a homeowner, Pat?
Am I what? Excuse me?
Yeah, are you a homeowner?
Homeowner. Okay. I'm neither. The one I thought you said and the other one. I rent both.
Wait a second.
All right, how about you,
Frank, right?
Like I said, you're clearly deserving of more respect than Pat.
That's
do you own a
okay.
home?
Yes, I own a home. What are you going to sell me?
You own a home.
Insurance on my home?
Frank, you have insurance on your home.
Oh no, I said
Yeah, says the guy who's filming from the basement of a YMCA. He's gonna fucking talk to me about respect.
You don't know.
The guy's wish-washy with his goddamn religion. You switched your hat 4 times. Fuck you, Pope John fuckhead.
This is a Bible, I swear to God.
Go ahead.
And I don't swear to God because I'm a religious scholar.
Well, I think God would have let Bobby tell his story.
This seems good. Let's see where this goes.
All right, go ahead, Frank. Just admit you're old to him so he can move on.
Yeah. Well, how old do you think I am?
25.
I don't like this guy.
You're not a religious.
Yeah,
You're not being honest. You're not being honest,
you
Mike.
gotta understand.
Try to be
You gotta
honest with
understand.
me.
Wait, he must be
Dating
Catholic,
has a
Frank.
plus or minus of 5,000 years. So I'm within the margin of error, right?
You know people don't live that long.
Well,
Even if you're religious, you know some science.
Well, I mean, all right, but Frank owns a home. Frank, listen, this is not my point. I'm not asking about your age. You're clearly a very sexy man, whatever your age.
All right, I'll be back.
I need to know what your financial situation is, Frank. What's your mortgage like?
Wait, what did you bring him into? What is
Very
this?
low.
Your mortgage is low. That's good. That means you got a good one. That means you're in a financial situation to invest in my next venture. Listen, look. On the side,
Bobby, really?
Bobby, why did you do this, Bobby?
Because I couldn't get a guest, and Bobby said I'll get someone last second. He got a mortgage salesman.
All right.
I mean,
We'll come back to
you
this.
know who you got. Hey, Bobby,
we'll
you
come
know
back
who
to
you
this.
got.
No.
You know what,
Bobby? No, Frank,
This is
George.
Ellen
Know
Gantry.
what? I'm going to be open-minded.
Yeah.
Sir, do your pitch.
listen. Frank,
Yes.
don't listen to Pat. Pat's he's a youngin'. He doesn't even own a home.
Twice your age.
He doesn't even, in his wildest dreams, Pat's not gonna own a home.
That's true.
Pat, this is not for you, all right?
You're saying my name and you're putting me down. It's for
Yes.
me.
He keeps getting confused.
No, it's about you. It's
So he says,
about
Pat, you
It's not
respond,
for
he
you.
has to
There's
address
a
you.
difference.
Mike,
It's about you.
can I
Frank,
ask you a
this
question?
is for you. Frank, this is for you. F
Yeah.
and F. Look at that alliteration. You have a home. You have no mortgage, correct?
Yes.
Good. That means you can do it a second time. I need money. Look, here was my first idea. It was called NFTs. Do you understand? Do you know what NFTs are, Frank?
No.
They're digital pictures on the internet that you can own. You can
They're
own
like
them right
digital
now.
paintings.
But nobody wants pictures of just random shit, right?
If you
Shit,
say
no,
so.
they want pictures of dicks. They want
Dicks?
NFTs.
How you say dicks?
NFTs. Bobby, back me up here.
Back him up with dicks, Bobby.
It certainly got Frank excited.
Bobby, refresh Mike's. Show him what a dick is.
No, what are we doing?
Yeah, Bobby.
What?
No, Bobby,
no.
here's the thing. All right, now, Pat, this is not for you, Pat.
It's my
Bobby.
show.
Look, how would you like to register your dick as an NFT right now? We can take a digital snapshot of your dick from this historical podcast, and we can put it
All right,
on
Mike,
the
let's go to
internet
Pat for a
as
second.
an
Hang on.
NFT.
Hang on. Let's go to Pat. Pat had a question.
Yeah, and this is gonna make me seem ignorant more than I already am. I've gone through life not knowing what NFT stands for. What does it stand for?
Sure.
Non-fungible token.
NFTs are what are called
Right.
non-fungible tokens.
Right.
They're a
NFT
cryptocurrency technology that allows people to own things on the internet that would otherwise be unownable. What
Right,
I
but you were
wanna
saying
do is
NFT,
set
so that's a
up for
non-fungible dick.
Yes, you got it.
Non-fungible
Okay.
dick pics.
That's all I wanted to
Non-fungible
know.
dick pics.
Thank you, Bobby, for doing what he could have done in 2 seconds.
It's all good.
Well,
Again,
haven't you figured
A
it
lot of
out
this was
yet?
inspired by Frank.
Haven't you figured it out? It takes Mike. Just
I couldn't figure out your story, Frank. For 20 minutes, I've been lost
right.
on my own show.
So you want a story you can follow, Pat, and boy, do I have
All
the
right,
one
look,
for you.
can
This
I
is
ask
why
you
I
guys-
brought Mike in. Mike, we're gonna get right into it. Maybe you can pitch.
Get right
Frank
into
one
it.
more.
He just did a sales pitch for
you're
Frank's
right.
money.
It's-
Told me I was
it's 'cause
poor
I've
and
lost
then
a
went
lot
after
of
Frank's
on
money.
these non-fungible
That's my job. I go after Frank's money. What are we doing?
All right. So in the beginning, there was nothing.
Doing the
And then
Bible?
God said, "Let there be light." Okay.
Let there be
Then he
light.
created pretty much everything, the universe, all the animals. He made a dude, and everything was pretty chill. And then the dude made the mistake. Yes, Pat.
Are you really gonna just tell us the Bible?
So then the dude.
We know this
made the
part. We can
mistake-
speed up a little bit. We know this part.
Lost Mike. We lost Mike.
God struck him the fuck down.
Then the dude made the mistake of talking about his feelings with God. And God was like, I know how to solve this. A woman. That's a mistake a lot of people make, right, Frank? Thinking a woman can solve their problems. Pat, you agree?
No, I don't agree. I think sometimes a woman can solve your problems.
No, sometimes. Yes. But thinking like just
God
that
damn
the
it.
ultimate solution is a woman is a problem. So God made this woman, right? And that's how everything kind of got fucked up. What happened after that, Mike?
Oh,
Wait, you gotta kick in the mic. Why don't you know the rest?
Wait a second.
okay.
Wait. Hey,
Excuse
Mike,
me,
you
Pat,
got me.
sorry.
Mike, you hooked me in. What is your routing number and checking account number?
All right. Sorry, wait. Frank, are you talking about the non-fungible dick pics?
Fungible?
They're
is that what you-
non-fungible.
Fungible.
You can't funge these dick pics.
You're
Pat.
funge.
Yeah. So all right. So then
Sorry, Frank. No, look, Pat or Frank. I'm sorry.
Not
Pat is trying to
involving me in
sabotage
a
your
story
investment.
about me.
Look,
Hey, Mike,
this
I'm
is
willing to.
becoming-
This is Mike.
This is
I'm
becoming a piece
listen,
of Shark
Mike.
Tank
Listen.
thing.
I'm willing to fund it so I could shut it down and nobody would use it.
Well, that would be for the best of society. I would approve of that. I mean, I don't come up with it. Look, I don't come up with these ideas out of benevolence. I understand the damage to society I'm doing when I come up with these ideas. Someone should shut me down. But
I've
Frank,
tried 6 times.
Bobby,
In
yeah,
the last
Bobby,
40 minutes.
exactly.
Okay, so we were at the
yeah, no,
point where
you
Adam and
keep
Eve.
going.
No, Mike.
You
We were
guys-
at the point Adam and Eve and Frank. And I need you to hear this.
Yeah.
It was Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. I know you've made that mistake before.
Yeah.
And what happened
Well,
next?
that was the original plan, but let's not get into that. Like I said, I'm a religious scholar. I study all aspects. Look, do you guys want to talk about non-fungible dick pics? Because I do have an idea. But
No.
I'm not ready to go. Let's.
No.
Bobby
Mike,
brought up a topic, and it's
Mike,
important.
this is
because-
not your show, Mike.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's his, Frank.
Take a step
No.
back.
Well, all right. So we're at the
No.
point Adam and Eve are chilling in heaven.
Ev-
the point where I
here's
need you to
what I
ride.
understand. Here's-
Mike's talking about
Here's-
dicks. Bobby's talking about Adam and Eve. Pat
It sounds like our show, Frank. It sounds like our show. And when you said
but
Adam,
here's
I
what
thought
you
they should
understand.
call it Adam Bitch. It should be his last name because he's a dumb bitch for hanging out with that lady.
It all ties together. Look,
Like your
see,
towel.
here's the thing. Eve never saw Adam's dick. If you ever study the Bible, it's never mentioned. All right.
Why
never saw it.
would they mention that?
Excuse me. What, Pat?
Okay, excuse me. Why would they mention and then she gazed upon his penis? Why would that be in there?
Hang on. I think
I mean,
there will be
it's
several
a book
points in the
about
story.
world. You would
Mike,
think that
Mike,
they would mention
Mike.
the first.
There will be
He
penis.
had to
several
see
points in-
around the fig leaf
Mike?
once.
I need you to ride with me here, Mike. There are several points in the story where we can come back to pitching your NFTs. Trust me. If you think about this story that we went over, there are several good points. Let's circle back. Give Frank a little
Right,
time
right.
to chew on it, much
No.
like he would in a non-fungible dick.
Can I say
And
one
why
more
don't
thing
you get to
quickly?
the point?
Why? Why would you want to say something?
Frank, can I say one more thing? I know we're talking about NFTs, but the only NFT I care about is for Bobby. I'm happy she's back. Smokey, thank you for your NFTs. Nice fucking tits. It's good to see you back on the show, Smokey. Go ahead,
So
Bobby.
Adam and Eve were up in heaven. Everything's chill. And then one day,
We're
what
still
happened?
doing this?
Take it, Mike. Take it, Mike.
Well, yes. No, Adam and Eve, look, here's the thing. Pat, you kind of stepped on my look. Here's the thing. The only reason
I stepped on your thing. You stepped on my show, sir.
Well, you say that. I say you stepped on my $1 billion idea, sir.
Frank doesn't have $1 billion.
No,
billion,
we're
no,
gonna make $1
listen,
billion. We're gonna make $1 billion.
You're gonna make me
Look,
mad. That's what you're gonna
Bobby and
do.
I had this whole thing planned. Look, here's how.
Smite. I bring smite upon you, like the Lord. Smite.
So, all right, Adam and
Smite,
Eve,
I say.
they're chilling.
All right, fine.
And
Look,
then
here's how
one
it goes.
day,
No, yeah, no, all right, fine. So Adam and Eve and her titties were so good that Satan convinced her to eat that apple. And Adam was like, yeah, I want those titties anyway, so let me have it. But here's what I'm saying.
hang on.
My next business venture, non-fungible titties, are way better than anything you guys got going on in this podcast. And you should definitely invest. That's all. Sorry, Bob.
A lot of people think the reason why God kicked Adam and Eve out of heaven is because they ate from the tree of knowledge and they knew right from wrong. But the reality is there was actually another tree that granted them life over death, life after death. That's why God kicked them out. He was afraid if he couldn't trust them with the knowledge of right and wrong, they wouldn't. Well, this one's staying on the Patreon.
Oh, yeah. Are we all wearing towels on our head? Look,
Nope, I got a hat that says USA.
This is what I think. I think right is investing in non-fungible titties. Wrong was clearly investing in non-fungible dick pics. That was clearly wrong.
Yes. I believe
I am a religious scholar, sir.
I've seen the light.
So God gets to the point where he's like, nah, you guys can't be in heaven. And he kicks the people down to earth, right? And Adam and Eve had 2 sons, Cain and Abel. And Cain gets pissed at Abel because Abel's like a do-gooder. He would be the Frank of the podcast, the guy who's always like trying hard, but nothing really ever works out for. So Cain kills Abel, and God's like, "I'm gonna put a mark on you." So
I'm looking at Frank's screen. Doesn't look like Frank's screen anymore.
He'll be back.
He's gonna put a towel on his head.
Yeah, he's just got to go upstairs. It's a long walk. So Cain kills Abel. God's like, "I'm gonna put a mark on you to prevent so all of humanity knows you're a killer." Which is weird,
right, Bobby,
because if those are the only
this.
4 people on Earth, why would other people know? But go on. What were you going to say?
Does Mike think we're on Fox News where he has to yell over everyone? We're not on Fox News. You can say stuff.
All right, guys, I'm making an ass of myself, but
no, you're killing it. Trust me.
Speaking of making a drunk ass.
Yes, he's got a tie on his head. He's religious.
How about Noah? Right? Am I right?
So this is like a couple decades later.
Hey,
can we do our show?
So we were at Noah. Take it, Mike.
Start the show, Pat. Let me know.
No, you're right. Absolutely. No, Noah was such a drunk ass that he showed.
How drunk was he?
He was so drunk. No, Pat, he was so drunk. He showed his balls. He showed his balls to both of his sons, and one of them that was gayer than the other, and he hated the gayer one. That's how bad Noah was. That's how much of a bro Noah was, that he was like, let me get blackout drunk. Come on. Just come on both my kids' faces. And then the one who likes it more is the one I'm going to disown. It's almost like coming on a friend's podcast and shitting all over it, and then being like mad at the friends for inviting you on. It would be like really dickish, right? So
it would be if they actually invited you on.
What else do you guys want to talk about? I'm wearing a towel on my head for your sake. What else is up?
This is not for our sins. Don't be religious.
Well, I'm just look. Listen, guys. I'm not a religious scholar. I'm just
no, you are a religious scholar. We're not breaking the bit
really
now.
So Noah, NFTs,
how dare you? How dare you? No, you don't lose faith. You are a religious scholar. I hope we didn't break your faith.
You're killing it.
So my God, we're the assholes. We're the sinners. We're starting to see the light. Don't bail.
No, you've broken me.
You can do. No, you can do this. Go fuck a boy or whatever you
So
do.
in addition,
I swear to God, you guys, this podcast experience has broken my spirit so much. I am going to turn back to the light, go back to the Catholic Church, and fuck those boys. I swear to God.
Fuck those boys.
Nope,
Fuck
we're not going to chant that.
By the way, this part is not brought to you by Silk City Hot Sauce.
This is
They
not
hate
getting
that
touched by
part.
Silk City. So actually, kind of like you said, there was a lot of gay fucking Noah and his two sons or whatever. But also at the time of Noah, a lot of people don't know this.
He tried to bail on this.
The angels came down from
Bobby,
heaven.
he even tried to bail on this.
No,
Yep.
but Bobby, look. Bobby
I think there's a safe word, Bobby. I think he said
Bobby is not motivated by comedy. He's motivated
So
by.
the angel came down from heaven and they had
Exactly.
sex with the humans and it made monsters. And God was like, well, we can't have that. So he sent a flood. He told Noah, because believe it or not, what Noah was doing was actually the least weird of all the things that were being done at the time, fucking wise. So he was like, none of that going forward, but for the time being, it's okay. And then we skip ahead a couple of years. And there was this guy named Abraham, Frank, and he was kind of like you. He was an old guy, didn't have any kids, but always wanted to like mentor people. And he prayed to God really hard. And so God gave him a kid. And at one point, God was like, hey, kill your kid. And he was like, all right, God, I believe in you. And he went to kill his kid. And God was like, nah, you don't have to kill him. Just cut his dick off. And they cut a piece of his dick off, threw it on a sandal. Mike, I think you knew more about what happened with that.
Well, I mean, honestly, I've already revealed myself as a faulty religious scholar. I'm just a plain anti-Semite. I always thought that Jews didn't like open-toed sandals. And that was just kind of a sign that, cover your toes up, Jews. They look gross.
So you think the reason why Jewish people don't wear sandals, and to be clear, these are the ideas of Mike Sanderson, is because in the Bible it says Abraham circumcised his son and threw it on somebody's foot.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta understand, these are desert people. They don't have a lot. I mean, I smoked pot and drank all through my religious studies.
Well, speaking of desert people, the big thing, this group of people that came to be known as the Jews, those were all the people who allowed somebody to cut off the part of their penis for their beliefs.
Do you want to know why Jews don't like sandals, Bobby? Because they're paying full price for half a shoe. That's not a good deal. I can see my foot and I'm paying full price.
So then Egypt happens, right? And God sends these Jews a Messiah to save them.
Bobby's not going to let this bit go.
His name is Moses.
No, he won't.
His name is Moses, right?
Won't.
And here's the thing. Nobody really believes in Moses. And the best part is Moses isn't even the first dude that they sent to do this. Okay? They sent a guy named Joseph who parted the Red Sea to get all the Jews out. And they were just like, nah, we don't believe you're the real Messiah. We think it's somebody else. So then Moses came, and it feels like Moses was kind of like me right now. He thought he had a lot of friends, maybe like one in particular who he was going to help pass the ball back and forth with. And then that friend bailed. So Moses was on his own, and it was kind of just him wandering the desert.
Hey, Mike, is that friend you or me? Which one of us bailed first?
No. No, he's talking about me. He's talking about me.
You did a
Bobby,
great job. You tried. We
Not
broke.
about you.
Don't tell me that on the podcast.
Would love to pass you the ball at some point here, Mike.
You, and I'm sorry.
Save your praise for later, Pat. Come on. I know I did a
No.
great
Your praise
job.
gets down live in front of the people that are still
Really
tuned
thought
in.
this was going to be like
Many
a
people
4x100
can't still be with us.
relay. A lot of passing of the baton, and then I catch the baton, but it turns out it's just me running a 1600 here.
He
okay.
tried. He had hats.
Okay, so here we are. So the Jews are now in the desert, and they've been wandering around for a while, and things got crazy at this point. They started worshiping a cow, and at that point, Moses smoked a little pot and talked to a burning bush. Mike, you want to take it from here, or you want me to jump back in?
No.
All right, still me. Okay, cool.
No. Hey, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. I feel like you're discounting my religious studies. Moses was talking to the burning bush, and he had.
And no, Pat, that doesn't mean chlamydia. I made that mistake earlier.
First of all, I don't like pubic hair, so that's gross.
But I'm the one who's weird for going down on people.
Yeah.
So
if they had pubic hair, I wouldn't go down on them. I would choke.
That's why you have to burn it off, and that's what.
Yes, the burning of the
God was
bush.
trying to tell Moses. He's like, you don't have good razor blade technology right now. The most effective way of cutting that shit up is burning it off.
He said
So
shit.
that's what people don't realize, is that God was actually teaching Moses on the mountain. And again, like I said, my religious studies come mostly from wandering around New York City in the past few days and talking to homeless people. But it seems like what God was trying to say is you got to burn the pussy hair off.
That seems like it was the 11th commandment nobody remembers.
No, well, I mean, like I said, Harrison Ford went in there and he drank some shit. And it's just nobody knows.
Wait. What
Look,
shit
it's
did Harrison
very
Ford
well
drink?
known that no man knows how to eat pussy. I mean, everyone knows that. But we're all trying to reclaim the lost art. And
all right, so Moses goes up to a mountain and he gets 10 commandments, and those kind of become a guiding principle. And then they find their promised land, and Moses hit this water too many times, so he wasn't allowed to go in. Also, he killed some dude at some point. Then we meet this sick dude named David, and Frank, I think he might have graduated high school with you, and that's David. He was this little farmer, and they were fighting some dude named Goliath, and he was a giant. And like a lot of people use this metaphor because David, the small farmer, like put a rock into his thing and slew Goliath. And people use that as a great metaphor, Frank, right? Since you've been around, people have been like, David beat Goliath. It's been newspaper headlines. But here's what people don't know. The rest of David's story, which is pretty fucking dope.
Did David really beat Goliath, though? You know what I mean, Bobby?
Yeah, no, he definitely did.
I have to interrupt and ask a question. In this version,
you want to ask about MF titties, right?
Who does Edward G. Robinson play in this version?
He plays the gay son.
Edward G. Robinson.
The gay son.
The gay son? That's what I thought. I wasn't sure. Okay, thank you, Pat.
No problem. Go ahead. Continue whatever the fuck this is.
Mike, you got it.
Why you know? Bobby, don't leave him.
Sweet. No, that's right. So
no, it was David. So all right, so David, right? Yeah, he slays Goliath. He becomes king.
David was the best pussy eater in the Middle East.
Right, and that comes up here.
And he was you gotta understand what David was. The line of David. Okay, look, I'm a religious scholar. David,
stop telling us that.
Hey,
I haven't told you I'm a podcast host 12 times. We know what you do.
David slayed Goliath.
It's very obvious you're a podcast.
That's where most people end.
Very religious. Very obvious you're a religious scholar.
Because David slayed Goliath, right?
I say
and
it so
then
much, I have to.
It was like Rocky 3. All right, Mike, my turn. Pass the baton to me, Mike. My turn. All right, so David, slay Goliath.
My turn.
Slay Goliath.
Look, I have a tongue that can eat pussy from miles away. That's all I'll say.
You're not allowed to eat pussy.
And that comes up in this story.
I know it does. That's why I thought I would tell it.
He went
Sorry, Bobby. I'll let you tell it. Look, you're telling the stories about my tongue. That's fine.
Yeah, he's the religious scholar. I mean, yes, you both are, technically.
He went full Rocky 3. Just was like a king. He was like, everything's great. I'll eat what I want. I do what I want. His army's fighting, right? He sees this hot chick bathing across the way, and he's like, hey, I am the best pussy eater in the land. Send that bitch to me.
I've never read this part of the Bible.
Dude, I swear to God, it's in there. So
I'm the best pussy eater in the land.
I mean, I'm paraphrasing.
I was going to say that.
I don't speak Yiddish. Mike, that's what it said, though, right?
Well, that's the secret, by the way.
Thank you.
Didn't know?
The actual translation is not eating pussy, it's licking pussy. That's the actual
okay.
Yeah, because you're not actually eating.
That's right.
So this girl named Bathsheba comes. She's like, I can't let you do that because my husband's actually fighting for you right now. This is kind of awkward. And he's like, okay, but if you didn't have a husband, you'd let me do that? And she's like, yeah, you're the best in the land. So David calls up his boys and he's like, yo, move her husband to the front lines and just abandon him. So they just put this dude out there and let the other army just mercilessly kill him. And that night, David went down on Bathsheba, and he did it many more times until the point where she let him enter her. And when he did, he had a son, and God was like, nope, you got to pay for killing that dude. So God killed his first son. And that's when the whole like killing of the first sons things happened, because it happened in Egypt. The Jewish history is filled with like the killing of the firstborn son. It's a big thing for them.
Interestingly enough, Bobby, by the way, I don't know if you knew this, but this was part of my religious scholars program. Can I interject?
Please.
Oh, okay, great. Because this was definitely part of my degree. So apparently, you know the famous song by Jeff Buckley, the Hallelujah song,
Leonard Cohen's version's better, but
based on the very story you just mentioned. Well, that was because he fell in love with Joanne Maxwell, and she flew him to Jeffrey Epstein's island, and this was a bad joke. Shit.
Punch out. It's cool. We'll do the rest of it. So, all right. So Jeff Buckley was in love with Ghislaine Maxwell, right?
No,
No, I'm with you. I see the joke.
Here's the thing. I'm so nervous. Here's the thing. I'm privileged. I have some privileged information. I told you I'm a religious scholar, right?
White privilege.
12 times you said that.
Well, just 12. That that was symbolic. I told you
13. I'm sorry. 13
Israel,
times.
by the way. So that's symbolic of me. But you got to understand, you know, the Epsteins, all that shit. You guys remember all those sordid news stories. I don't know them.
So you're saying Jeff Buckley exposed Jeffrey Epstein?
Well, Jeff Buckley was in that. You know, I used
Maxwell.
to hang out with Jeff Buckley. He was part of my religious studies. We would study together. That's, you know.
I saw him almost drown river swimming at your beach house.
Yeah, no, we hung out at my beach house, and I gave him the lyrics to Hallelujah. I was like, "Here you go, man." But that, you know, that's just how deep of a religious scholar I am. But,
well, we're gonna have to speed through some of this story. At one point, they were building a tower to heaven, and apparently God didn't like that, so he made him change the language. He also kept promising that there would be this Messiah.
God just wanted a bunch of, he wanted a bunch of
at one point, there were these walls in Jericho that were significant for some point. I guess they played some horns to tear them down. Not really sure what happened there. Ooh, this was a fun one. There was this guy named Jonah at some point along the way, and God was like, hey, there's this town called Sodom and Gomorrah, and it's kind of like if you picture New York City and like Austin, Texas right now, just like anything goes. People are doing heroin on the streets, just passing out. There's literal human fecal matter everywhere. So for obvious reasons, Jonah was Jewish. She was like, I don't want to go there. And God was like, no, you got to. And he was like, ah. And then he jumped in the ocean and a whale ate him. And God was like, your choice is like this whale stomach where you're going to die, or you could go there. And he went there, and then some things happened.
He went into the whale's stomach, but you got to understand. The whale, listen, this is not well understood, but the whale was very, very gay. And because Bobby, do you know the Council of Nicaea? Do you understand that? Do you know what?
We're at Jonah and the whale. We are 2,000 years from the Nicene Council. Let's go to the next
Well, I understand, but it's all to God. All time happens.
What am I singing?
Oh, Frank, if we were doing our actual show, this would be the story I'm talking about. And since we're doing this, I just thought people could see the story I might talk about. They're gonna finish, but some people can also look at this picture of how reverse cowgirls a deadly position.
Speaking of cowgirls, Frank.
Finish.
Speaking of cowgirls, Frank.
Yes.
There was this cow that came up later in the story, but before we got to the cow, this angel came to Mary and was like, hey, the angel's going to impregnate you. Okay. Can we take us off the screen, Pat? Pat?
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I bothering you?
Pat, I'm trying to run a fucking podcast here, buddy.
Bobby, this debauchery is brought to you by Slim City Hot Sauce. Erotic fever, something religious guys can't have.
So anyway, this angel kind of sounds like an LSD trip, comes to Mary and's like, yo, you're going to have God's baby. And then Mary gets knocked up and everybody's like, yo, is that your boyfriend? Is it his? She's like, no, it's God's. And at that point, that's where this dude becomes a hero, because Joseph just rolled with the punches. Like, to be honest, at that time, that type of culture, most of the Marys, right, are ending up in a well somewhere. So he rolls with the punches. They go travel somewhere. The cowgirl, Mary, rides a donkey because of this census, right? And they get to this inn. The innkeeper's like, you can sleep out back. And everybody kind of gives him a bad rep, but it seems like he was just giving them the best he had and really tried his hardest, you know. And everybody tells this story around Christmas time where a little kid comes out and runs out and is like so moved by the story of Jesus where he's like, wait, Mary, you can have my room. And that just feels like an urban legend at this point because, like, I don't think any little kid really did that. Most of them are just so excited with Christmas. They're not paying attention. So then they have Jesus, right? And Jesus does all this great stuff. Mike, you want to tell them about some of the miracles?
Oh yeah, shit. No, I mean that guy could make like a little bit of fish, like a lot of fish, dude.
Like the
Like,
most
he
fish.
knew, like, well, not the most fish. I mean, that's a lot of fish, you know. But
Yeah,
like he
the
knew
most.
how to just feed. You remember the three little pigs.
But
You know,
was
like
it a little
you
bit
want to
of
get it.
fish? Was it a
You
little
want to
bit of
get it.
fish?
No, you want to get it just right, and like that was what everybody said about Jesus. Is they're like when he made fish appear out of nowhere, he got just the right amount of fish. Like
He
nobody
opened
was like.
he opened a
There
Fulton
was,
Fish Market in Manhattan with
well,
that.
like when you open a fish market and you like buy too much fish, and then like not enough people come and buy your fish, and then you don't have enough. You have like extra fish and you gotta just throw it away. You feel bad.
You know that thing that happens.
Like the world's dying and like global warming and like we should all try and use resources efficiently. Jesus was like perfect because he would make just the right amount of fish that everybody would eat it and they'd be like, that was enough fish. And then there was no waste, So
Here's the
anyway,
thing. Here's the other thing I liked about Jesus, in addition to the fish. Jesus hung out with hookers, kind of like you and me, Frank. And Jesus knew what to do one time when a hooker moved him from the client standpoint to the friend zone and was like, I care about you more than a client. And you were like, that's cool. Like, I like you too. But also sometimes I just want to see naked pictures of you and pay for sex. So Jesus knew how to maneuver that, which was kind of a miracle.
well, little known fact again, because I am a fake religious scholar. Jesus would multiply his fake dick pics just like he would multiply the bread and the fish, which is very similar to the business model of the non-fungible dick pics I was talking about earlier. And again, nobody wants to see dicks, but I really do think that people would want to see titties. And so maybe non-fungible titties would be a thing, And so again,
Okay,
Frank,
maybe. Frank,
take a
what's your
second mortgage.
favorite miracle of Jesus's?
Definitely the non-fungible titties.
No, Frank, not Mike.
Could you see that photo?
Not at all.
Not at all.
No.
It's the Last Supper with Jesus.
With you again?
Oh, not the titties.
Yeah. And with topless women, as Mike was alluding to, serving.
Frank, great yes ending. Pat, what's your favorite miracle of Jesus's?
I like the part where he would make cripples walk. That's fun for me.
We had a former podcast guest who would have really liked to see that.
Pimp would have
miracle
loved
happen.
that.
You know who would not have liked that?
Silk City hot sauce?
Nope. The next guest we had, that hot chick. Because right now she has a great excuse. It's just like, the wheelchair. But if the wheelchair goes out the window, she's going to have to get rid of
Gotta fuck that
guy.
Hold on.
Mike, any other miracles of Jesus you liked before we get to the real punch here? Mike?
Oh, yes. My favorite in all my years of study, my favorite miracle of Jesus was the water into wine, because who doesn't love that, right?
I don't drink, so I would have been like, can I have some water, please?
Well, but I as someone who shouldn't drink, I do love the idea of being able to mischievously turn anybody's water into wine.
Yeah, but then but then it became Jesus juice and it started Michael Jackson fucking kids.
I mean, here's my
all I was doing was emulating Jesus. He also turned people's drinks and put them to sleep.
I told you I was
America's husband.
Fuck you, Rudy, and the Theo and your Rudy. Fucking in the butt.
Jesus had the Matthew Marks and the Pauls. I had the Theo and the Cuxtables. Yeah.
Bill Cosby fucking your wife when she's sleeping. Boop, boop, boop.
Another miracle I had of Jesus is this one's not in the Bible as much, but
As much. Nothing you've said in the Bible as much.
this one. So the first, nobody really knows. This isn't in the Bible because the Jews made him keep it out, but nobody really knows why the Jews first started their beef with Jesus. And it was actually this: they had a basketball team, and Jesus called next, and they didn't really want him to take the court, so they gave him 3 dwarfs. And what's the other type?
Midgets?
He turned him into 7.
Okay, yeah, and one of those. And they were like, "Oh yeah, beat us with them." And then Jesus made them all 7'2" and taught him how to dunk real quick. So that's why they really hated him. That was my favorite miracle of Jesus's.
That was a good
Frank,
one.
what was yours?
I don't have one.
You don't? Is
About
it because
Jesus?
you hate what we're doing?
About Jesus?
Yeah.
What's your least favorite miracle?
You know,
Frank?
the guy suffered enough. I mean,
My least favorite miracle is when he made the cripples walk.
Mike, didn't he suffer enough? Don't you think enough is enough? I mean, and everybody's taking a piece of him. Every religion is trying to take a piece of him. Enough is enough. Leave the poor guy alone.
So here's the other thing I like.
Let
about
him rest
Jesus.
in peace.
I think you're talking about Bill Cosby again.
But a lot of people don't know this is that Jesus also did some, like, we know the sacred mysteries of Jesus, the suffering and all that in the rosary, but there were also the passive aggressive miracles of Jesus. And one was like this guy bullied his brother once. So all the food he tasted turned into tofu when he touched it. Like Jesus did that. Mike, yeah, you had one that he did, right? And the passive aggressive sacred miracles.
Yeah, no, he made he was pissed at the Japanese for attacking his holy land of America, and he made all the sushi sour.
Mike, we agreed no Mormonism on the podcast. That's not our target demo. So
look,
anyway,
I'm not saying Mormonism. Look, I'm not promoting Mormonism. I'm not saying Mormonism is the way or the truth.
You're actually not even saying Mormonism.
I'm not even saying the word correctly. No, but I will say Joseph Smith did find some Goldblum tablets and I'm not even saying any of these words right. Wow. But he did find those tablets. Where he found.
So we're at the point in the story where Jesus is now growing faster than the POS YouTube page. Thanks for helping us hit 500. Let's get to 6 people. Like, subscribe, comment below.
Did we get there?
So Jesus gets really popular. The Jewish leaders are mad because he beat him at basketball.
We're only at 480, so get on there, people. We're at 480.
Yeah. Well, we should be at 481 because I just got a subscriber.
You did?
Anyway,
you finally subscribed to our own channel?
Nope. We'll talk names after the podcast because I want to see if somebody followed through. Anyway.
Oh, that scares me. Is it the Lord?
No. Anyway, so we're at the point Jesus is getting really popular. Jewish leaders are mad at him for beating him at basketball. They're like,
we're still doing this?
Down. We got to shut this down.
Yeah, we're
kind of like Pat is right now. A
I
great
don't
thing's
understand
going.
why you would
The Jews were mad because he beat him at something. Want to see him shine.
I like Jews. I've slept with 2.
My numbers aren't that high. Slept with
as Hitler said, 2 is the perfect amount. More than 2, 10. You gotta burn that place down.
Frank slept with 10. 2 of them were women. Anyway.
Oh, there's a gay Jew would be on this show, not shutting up. Frank doesn't know any of those.
So we're at the point where he's getting pretty popular. The Jewish leaders are like, we got to shut this down. Oh, it's coming. Don't worry. It's coming. You're going to see it and you're going to love it. So they're like, hey, what can we do? Shut your crowd down. And Jesus is like, no, if I shut my crowd down, the rocks and stones themselves would start to sing. And everybody's saying, Hosanna, hey, Zanna, Zanna, Zanna. Oh, Frank, don't act like you don't know Jesus Christ Superstar, you goddamn closeted queen. Zanna, Hosanna, hey, Zanna.
Hey, what's this? What's this? All you religious scholars, what's this?
Forehead?
No.
Early onset dementia.
No.
I guess it would just be dementia at your age.
2 Jews walking from temple to temple.
Hey-o! Come on, you did it. That closed the whole thing. You did it.
So okay,
That's it.
so
That's the end.
Jesus, right?
And you know who went to
He's
temple?
popular.
Bill Cosby. Dope, dope, dope.
And Passover is coming, and Passover happened back with Moses. You remember him when they escaped Egypt? They didn't have time to flatten their bread or something. So it's a big holiday the Jews still celebrate. It's coming. You'll see it. So the Jews go to Judas, and if I had to pick a Judas, just picture Frank. Frank would be the Judas of this podcast. And Judas goes, yeah, I'll turn in this Jesus guy. I don't really think he's God, and I'm a little jealous of the attention he's getting. So they do that, and the Jews convince Judas to kiss Jesus to signify that he's the one they should betray. Okay? And so Judas...
Is that, Bobby, is that
kisses-
because the
Oh my
Romans
God,
were-
he was finally going to stop.
Go ahead, Mike. What was that?
No, is that because the Romans were homophobic?
Nope, we're about to get to it. So
All right,
Judas...
all right.
Pat,
I'm not
Pat,
here. I'm not here.
He's only up to year 01 BC.
So Judas kisses Jesus on the cheek, The Jewish people arrest him. right? Right. So they do that. And that's a pretty sick burn. Almost as bad as the burn you feel from Six Silk City Hot Sauce's latest hot sauce, Erotic Fever. Contrary to popular belief, it is not inspired by Karen Feehan's herpes. Stop saying that in the comments below. Please stop tweeting that at her. That is not nice. Please.
Are you saying that to yourself? Like, I think you're the only one doing that.
Nope. Trust me. And please, whatever you do, do not do that. That would not be nice. That would not be funny. Anyway, other great sauces they have is the one who inspired this podcast, Badass Jews. Because the baddest ass Jew I could think of is Judas, who turned in Jesus. Pat, what other sauces do you like? You have some favorites, don't you, buddy?
My glasses just broke,
Aw.
and I can't see without them.
Yeah, you was just struck down by God. That's why, for having this podcast.
I might have to tape them like a nerd.
All right, so there's this great joke, right? A priest is playing golf with one of his church members, right? And the priest hits the ball right on the green. The church member hits it right in the bunker. And he goes, God damn it, I missed. The priest goes, don't say that. I'll strike you down. Okay, so they're on the next hole. And they're talking because like the guy's going through a divorce and the priest is trying to counsel him through the divorce. And he's saying things like, I just don't know if I can do this anymore, Father. You know, I feel like she's cheating on me. And the priest is like, you think she's cheating on you, like having an affair? And he's like, not cheating on me in that sense, but like cheating on me in the sense that she'd rather be on Facebook or like on Instagram than just doing the things that used to bring us happiness. And the priest is like, oh man, that's pretty rough. And they tee up for the next hole. And the priest hits the great shot right on the green again. And you know what happens, Frank? The guy hits the ball right in the water. And he goes, God damn it, I missed. The priest goes, don't say that or God will strike you down. So they go and he gets the ball out of the water and he three putts it. So he's down like 6 strokes at this point. And they're riding in the cart to the next hole because the priest used to do golf for exercise, but at this point he's just old. And really it's kind of one of the only things other than, you know, counseling his church that brings him happiness anymore. So they get to the 3rd hole and the priest, believe it or not, Frank, he hits a hole in one, right? And the guy, he hits the ball and he gets it right on the edge of the green and he thinks this is going to be my good shot, right? And he gets there and you know what happens? He slips right as he hits the ball and he actually puts it into the water again, Frank. And as he's falling, he thinks about all the failures in his life, his marriage. He's kind of lost faith with God. You know, this golfing with the priest is more out of pity because the priest is going to die soon and less about counseling of faith, but he still does it out of just respect and thinking it's the right thing to do, because even if he doesn't believe in the God that used to exist, he still believes in being a good person. And you know what I mean? He might not have, kind of like Nietzsche said, God is dead and we killed him. He doesn't need to follow the old laws of religion anymore. And he hits the ground and he yells out, God damn it, I missed. And a bolt of lightning comes from heaven, right, Frank? And it hits the priest and strikes the priest down. And a voice from above says, God damn it, I missed.
Well,
And
Bobby,
I feel like that's what happened with Frank's glasses, or with Pat's glasses. He was going for me and he just missed.
Bobby, I think that joke could have its own podcast.
Okay, so we were at the point where Jesus.
I remember
now-
when my grandfather told me that joke, like for real.
Yeah.
So we're at the point now. The Jews have Jesus.
What? No,
and they
no,
wanna-
no, no,
they wanna kill
no.
him.
The show's
Wait,
over.
Bobby.
We've been going
Not
on
yet,
for an
dude.
hour and 15 minutes.
So they want to
No,
kill
it
Jesus.
sounds like Bobby's ventured back into, because he was telling that stupid story about like somebody's glasses, but now it sounds like we're talking about religious studies again. My ears perked up. What's up, Jesus?
So Jesus has been captured by the Jews, right? And they want to kill him, but they don't really have a law for that.
Pat, where are you going to be performing?
So no, Frank.
I'm
so
gonna
they
hang
take-
myself in an hour.
So they take Jesus to Pontius Pilate, and Pontius Pilate
I'm gonna
just
punch
washes
your
his hands of
pilot in
the
about 2
situation.
fucking minutes.
He washes his hands of the situation. He's a real wishy-washy guy. He goes, "No, thank you."
Hey, Bobby. Wait. Hold on. Wait, Bobby. Shut up. What if Jesus was
What's
crucified on an airplane?
We're not at the crucifixion yet. Wait for that. So
No.
they go to Herod. Herod says it's
I'm
not
just
my
saying,
law. They eventually go back to Pontius Pilate, and Pontius Pilate's like, "Yo, do you want this criminal freed or Jesus who really didn't do anything wrong?" He whips Jesus. The Jews just aren't satisfied because he dunked on them so many times, and so they're like, "We got to crucify him," and that's when he gets crucified. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, hey, no. I was just gonna say you're saying he dunked on them so many times. Remember that time he flipped over all their money tables, Bobby?
Yeah,
Bobby, remember how?
Yeah.
You can imagine how pissed the Jews would be if he flipped over all their money tables. You know what I mean, Bobby?
I
Get it?
do. I do, which is part of the
Money.
reason why.
And their money tables and Jesus
But-
flipping them over.
And I always
how
thought that was
pissed
just
they-
code for him, like breaking their ankles on the
but he knew
basketball
what they were
court.
doing. It's like, yeah, he knew what he was doing. It's like when
Yeah.
your girlfriend, like, ruins your favorite, like, college poster. It's the same thing.
So Jesus at this point is going to get crucified, and they get some dude to help him carry up his cross up the hill. So he carries his cross up the hill. Jesus is there. One guy accepts Jesus into his heart. The other one makes fun of him. That guy goes to heaven. The other guy doesn't. 3 days later, Jesus comes out. The disciples are popping bottles because the body's gone. They're like, all I do is win, no matter what. And so here's the question. Pat, Frank, Mike, who is the POS in this story? Is it God for what he put the Jewish people through? Is it the Jewish people because they killed their Messiah? Or is it the author? Because that's always a third option. Mike, we'll go to you first.
I don't think you want to hear my opinion.
Nope, we have to. Let's hear it. You're up.
I think in this enlightened day and age, look, I voted for Hillary Clinton, and I think that women are great, and they're our future, and I would never ever say that Eve was the villain in the story. I would never say that. So I just think that you should probably probably.
All right, Frank, who's the POS?
All right, to get serious about this, I think there's 2 pieces of shits in this story. And it's not Pat, it's the other 2 that you see. It's Bobby for telling the story for an hour, and Mike elongating it by interrupting him and giving him your religious scholar explanation of everything. You lost me at something with Adam and Eve, somewhere around there. Okay. And I couldn't follow anything else. Thank God, Smokey's breast was on the background of Bobby. That kept me.
Don't take his name in vain.
2
We're not
things
going to
that are hot.
bastardize God on this
Smokey
podcast.
and this dragon hot sauce. It's tremendous. POS. Use the promo code.
Hey, Frank, do you like Dragon Hot Sauce?
StillCityHotSauce.com. Use the promo code. Save 15%, and you can get 15% of your life back by not
Frank, do
watching.
you like Dragon?
Dragon's the best. I love it.
Frank, do you like Dragon?
You like dragging these balls in your nut?
Dragging these nuts across your face. Oh, okay. Frank, tell the people where you're going to be.
Look, listen. I'm Mike Sanderson, religious scholar. Don't forget NF titties. They're the best. Bye.
They're the best. Bye.
That's all I have to say. That's my
Frank,
do
do
plug.
your credits, I guess.
No, I'm just like, you guys finish your podcast. I just wanted to make my
Thanks.
plug. NFTs.
No, we really.
they're the only way you know that
we didn't ask. Pat, who's the
genuine.
POS? Pat, who's the POS? My bad, we forgot you. Pat, who's the POS in the story?
I thought we were moving on. I didn't.
No, my bad. I just forgot. That's me being a bad host.
No,
I'm a
the
great
POS is
storyteller,
this
bad
whole
host.
thing. The POS and whole thing is me. I'm trying to be an open-minded person. I did not let this young scholar really get his word out. I am sorry, Mr. Sanderson. I really should have let you share your. I feel bad that we broke your spirit and your heart, and you're just trying to help us see the light. And I'm too dark on the inside to do that, and I'll try to be better.
Well, listen, Pat. I promise you, in no uncertain terms, that my heart was broken well before I met you, and that I just hope you invest in NFTs. That's all.
Okay,
I will if they're smoking.
Let me explain who the actual POS is here. Okay, and I know you're like, oh boy, this is going to be a controversial take, but Frank, you said I lost you around Adam and Eve, right? And you said it wasn't good when somebody told a story that we all kind of knew it took way too long, right? So there was this guy. Let me tell you a parable, kind of like Jesus. There was this guy, right? And he had this log in his eye, okay? And this other dude kept going, yo, you got a sty in your eye. You got a little piece of wood in your eye, right? And he just kept pointing out that this other guy had this piece of little wood in his eye. And it turns out the guy who was pointing that out, he had like a whole tree branch in his eye. You understand what I'm saying, Frank?
Yeah. Something about throwing stones. I understand.
I think it's the pot calling the kettle the N-word, Frank. I think that's the old saying.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm just kidding, Frank. I love you.
I know that.
And honestly, the story with Letterman, I can't believe you sat on this Letterman story the whole time.
Yeah, I know why. I forgot. Simple.
Anything else to reveal, Bobby, before we?
Yeah, well, here's one thing. Mike, have you ever seen the movie Gattaca?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, Pat. I think he asked me, but yes, Bobby.
Oh, I know he won't ask me.
Okay,
There's one
so
thing he won't fucking do is
Gattaca.
ask me this fucking goddamn question.
So you know Gattaca. So it gets to the point in life where you
You're really doing it? No, fuck you. You can see me. I'll be. Well, I don't know when it's coming out. I've got shows next Wednesday and next Saturday. Check me out. Me and Frank might be doing.
Okay, you get to the point where you design your.
Mike Sanderson, thank you so much for bringing your bullshit here. Bobby, fuck off. Frank, thanks for being. Go watch Eastside Dave with Bobby. Bobby's gonna be somewhere, sometime in upstate New York, sometime.
Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. Hit me up.
Don't be a piece of shit.